Okay, so let's talk about timelines inside of DaVinci Resolve. First, before you can make a timeline, you're going to need to have some footage. All right, so let's navigate, find some footage, and add that to our media pool. I'm going to have that change to our project settings. Okay, so now we've got some media there. Now inside the Edit tab, you can see your media ready to go. And so you can create timelines in a couple different ways. Maybe the first way is you can right-click and you can go to Timelines and then say Create New Timeline. And that'll give you starting time code. You can name the timeline. You can have it empty. A couple different parameters that you can use there to create a timeline. You'll see the timeline appear here, and then you'll see that this changed, where you've got a video track and some audio tracks below. Now, that's one way that you can create a timeline. There's also another way, which you can, if I do Command Z there and undo that, you can actually take a clip, and you can just drag any footage right down into this spot down here, and it'll create automatically a timeline. And it'll have it change to the settings that that clip is created in, right? So now we've got one timeline there. If I wanted to rename that, I can always click on it and do rename it there itself. And so that's another quick way I can create a timeline. Finally, the last way, which is kind of interesting, is you can use bins to create a timeline. So if I'm going to undo that, get rid of that timeline, and let's say I had a bin here, go back to my media tab. I'm going to create a bin. There we go. Add a bin here. We'll do hunt bin or something. And I'm going to take these clips here, just these ones, and I'm going to drag those into my hunt bin. I put in my media pool, drag those now into my hunt bin. Okay, so I've got my edit tab. I've got those clips inside of my hunt bin. And if I right click on the hunt bin here, I can go and click on create timeline using selected bins. Okay, and so I could name that timeline from bin or whatever I wanted to, and that would then create a timeline that has all of those clips already preloaded into that. Now if I had actually already gone through some of these clips before and set in and out points, set an in and out point here, set one here, and then created a timeline using that bin that we had before, those in and out points would also show up here on the clips before. So that's kind of a useful thing you can use if you're going through a lot of footage already and you're organizing them into bins and you wanted to create different versions or rough drafts. You could create timelines from some of the work that you've already done, maybe inside the media tab, setting in and out points for points of interest. So that can be a helpful way to save some of the work that you might have done already to create a timeline. So now that you've got your timeline set up, you're ready to start editing inside of Resolve.